Welcome back, friends. Last guy here. It's time for apparently the final chapter of this whole dang thing. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Let's go. I guess I just hit back button instead of save. There we go. Okay, so these all been here and I just never checked, of course. Because I didn't want to spoil myself. Well, let's do this thing. Start playing from the start. Final chapter. Oh, no opener. Okay, I was expecting an opener. Alright, so 3rd of November, 9:14 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. So, the time's finally come. Today, we unravel everything. No, we're not. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Mrs. Sato. Mrs. Sato? Ah! Oh, no! Ah! Oh, no! What's the matter, Miss Naruhodo? You threw my ass. Nothing? I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but... I'm so sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down. You already let me down onto this ground. Would you mind helping me to my feet, then? Oh dear, I'm really very sorry. I hope you are. I really hope you are. The Sato-san isn't her usual self at all. But that's hardly surprising, I suppose. She's just found out that her father is the partner of a world-famous detective, not to mention... Oh, good morning, sir. Huh? Lord Von Zeeks! Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. What? Did I hear that correctly? What? Oh, no, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. Lord Von Zeeks isn't the Reaper, Miss Naruhodo. Good point! The Reaper. I suppose in hindsight. I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all this. But you're not to blame for that, Lord Von Zeeks. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. That having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod. To wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Yes, we've heard that story too. I have not, I don't remember that one. When I lost him, I felt as though I'd lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so... in some small way. I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Nah. Even if I knew it was just an illusion. Just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public. He was obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint Von Zeeks. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say this. But I can see it in your eyes, that burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? There's a little girl. Oh, Iris, when did you get here? Oh. I bought you one of my special blends. Holy loves it. He says it helps him to clear his head. I thank you. Oh, That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. Oh, that feels like a checkoff. Okay. You seem different today, Iris. Oh. Sort of subdued, I suppose. I am not. What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Sai's laboratory. I like them. Good luck to you both. I had to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying? I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings. Well, I like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready. Get ready? For what? Oh, yes. Would you take this? Isn't that one of your little felt dolls that usually is dangling from your knapsack? Yeah, it's a Lucky Girl charm. A little Hurley that I made once. A Hurley? It looks more like a Harley. Looks more like a Harley to me. Oh my god. If for some reason you completely run out of options this trial today, then just pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can. Yeah, when's that gonna come up? What? Pull his ears? That's right. It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. Why is that going to be relevant to the case? You think what we'll need is luck? I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom. And it seemed very different to normal. Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. What does that mean? What of Mr. Sholmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning. Oh, I see. Was Professor Mikatoba out all night too, do you think, Mrs. Sato? Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all. They? Father and Judge Jigoku, I mean. Judge Jigoku too? That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once. Good luck, Uno. Good luck, Susie. Yes, thanks, Iris. And you, Mr. Weeper. I hope it goes well. Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing. Oh, I'm so glad. We must go inside now, Lord Von Zieks. I don't know. Lord Von Zieks has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Kazuma Asogi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. Third of November, 9:30 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Lord Honzig's just standing there. It feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today. Ah! Mr. Naruto, look! Whoa! Lord Strongheart? Kazuma must have known beforehand. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in this proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial, and one over which I, Male Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. What is going on? The 6 juror flames just... As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Von Zeeks. You are a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother Clint, in fact. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session for the trial of Baroque Von Zeeks, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsels for the prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice, Mr. Daily Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work, when in fact he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself, as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abetted the convict's escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Sinner's. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating a red-headed league. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Osogi. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on 31st of October, the day before his body was discovered. Halloween, really? I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday. That the time of death was 5 p.m. on 1st of November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Gotta go deeper on this voice. Do I sense that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities? Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. Oh hey, my worst voice in this entire game. State your name and occupation for the court. Inspector Gina Rostad, reporting. Representative of Scotland Yard. A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina, again? What's your problem, Odo? What's with that, Gina? Again? Look, eh? He's the most common one here. The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did. Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean? He got me out the back slums of the old East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here, speaking for him. Oh, Gina. Right, all out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes, no. What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. But Strongheart knew! So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report. I finally found the voice. There we go. Coming right up, sir. That voice is not coming together at all, though. The victim's movements. All your detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they told. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealings that day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't on it yet. What matters most is there's witnesses what say the Reaper at the place too. Okay. Smuggled goods? I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book. Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines, goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets. It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority, without the Yard's knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? Awesome. In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter. That can't be! We haven't heard anything about any of this. Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Baron von Zieks, was present. That would be very significant testimony, then. Oh my, but... Lord von Zieks has made no mention of this at all. In short, Lord von Zieks had ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well, then. Counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination. Oh, that face. That stern-ass face. Hey, the victim's movements. Alright, time to do some pressing. Press the girl. Real quick. Anything? Let's investigate this really quick. Tug the ears. What a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Sholmes. Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? Are you alright, Miss Naruhodo? Your eyes are variably boring into the poor doll's ears. Oh, sorry, I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tuck its ears with all my might right now? I'm sure that we'll find out when the time is right. To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn stoic patience. What I want to know, but I want to know! So where Chekhov's gunning this freaking ear is real good, huh? Look at the new version. Oh no, this is this one. Where's the old one? Oh, it got updated. It's over here. Here we go. Evidence suggests measures may have been taken to disguise the time of death. I think that's the only thing new, as far as I know. Let's go ahead and press.
Hold it!
Hold it, Gina. So you follow orders, do you, Gina? Nah, not me. I'm above all that, see. Oh. The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips, or go and give Toby his grub, or that kind of thing. So errands more than orders, then? Kazuma. This detective is still an apprentice after all. Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. I didn't find much at first. Now it's time for the diary.
Hold it!
So you went through Inspector Gregson's things? Yep. As part of the old independent Lestrade investigation. I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative. So I snuck into his office when no one else was about. Because if anyone at the Yard had seen me going in there, they'd have turfed me straight out on the street. Is was sounding less and less like an investigation and more like something else. Constable. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook. You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and his trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Toby. We found it in one of the desk drawers that had a close bottom. That's impressive! So then I went to hide myself where no one could find me, so I could have a butcher's at what was written in it. Because if anyone at the yard had found me out, they'd have turned me straight out on the street. You already said that. I've given it in now, though, ain't I? And if it weren't for me, it would never have been found. Hold it! Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Yep, it was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember. As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club. Yes, I remember, but I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in the future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings. I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's right here. All I've got to do is read it out. And I could too. I've got this reading game buttoned up now. Can't I show you what I can do? Go on, what's the The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. What should I do? Let's insist. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Wrong voice. Kazuma! Kazuma. There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings, however. It's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Right then. I get to show off me reading skills. Apparently the smuggled goods dealing was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse. Hold it! Press around that. The Grouse? What sort of a club is that? I ain't got the foggiest. Clubs ain't exactly my thing. But I am kind of curious. They're not places where a foreign student like you would be readily admitted. Have you looked into the mirror recently? I tell you what, me and Chief Inspector Toby could go in undercover. Could you, though? Could you, though? I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find out while I was in there. I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings are going to take place, is it? Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the lower ranking detectives at the yard reckon. Says the even lower ranking detective. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't on it yet. Oh, meant to press that. I wonder what the grouse means for anything. I don't know anything for the grouse, do I? So, how had Inspector Gregson come to find out about it in that case? That's the question, ain't it? But I'm just an apprentice, so... So why didn't he inform Scotland Yard his findings? Yeah, that's what I was asking myself, because, you know, I'm just an apprentice. When it suits you, yes. Anyway, the point is, something went on in that club, no question. You can't say that for certain, though, surely?
Hold it!
Lord Von Zieks was at the club? He was. Detectives who visited the club yesterday to make inquiries haven't confirmed it. Several members report having seen the accused being admitted to the room in question as a guest. It looks like there's no disputing he was there, then. Well, we know that Lord Von Zieks was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he'd already discovered the Inspector's secret notebook. Which led him to the club, you mean? Maybe. Presumably, then, there are also witnesses who can testify that Gregson was there? None have been identified at this time, no. Though the all-important victim wasn't seen at this mysterious club. Oi! Why did you ask Inspector Lestrade, eh? So that's all I've got to work with. Gina's not holding back with that ice-cold stare of hers, is she? I really don't know what to make of all this. Lord Von Zieks told us he was investigating Gregson, but he never once mentioned that he met the inspector the day before the incident. You don't think Lord Von Zieks could have been lying to us, do you? That's not the only way to explain this. Oh. If everything Lord Von Zieks has told us is true, then there must be a mistake in this testimony somehow. You mean there are details we've yet to uncover? Exactly. A clue, perhaps, that even Gina hasn't noticed. That's what we should be looking for. Okay, so we have the grouse, but what does that mean? Let's go ahead and look at our evidence here. There are details of a whole raft of cases dating back years on here, aren't there? This paper from 10 years ago is browning with age, too. Out of interest, the most recent things appear to be this newspaper cutting here. Oh, it's the same Red-Headed League advertisement Mr. Sholmes had picked out. And do you remember? There was a red hairpiece at the scene, too. Was Inspector Gregson an exponent of the Red-Headed League, then? I want to find something about that thing here, but no. Let's have a look inside. Yeah, I never looked in here, did I? Look, there's something inside. Oh, let's see. It appears to be a passport, authorizing him to travel overseas. Was Inspector Gregson about to go on a trip abroad, then? Perhaps the date of departure might tell us something. That was... Oh! What is it? It was for travel on 31st of October, just one day before the incident. What? Really? Alright, so we got that now. Gregson went to France the day before his body was discovered. Alright, there's also this blood I see. Look at this dark stain here. Do you think... Yes, I'm afraid so. I think it's blood. I knew you were going to say that. That presumably means that this was present at the scene when Inspector Gregson was killed. It's the most logical conclusion, yes. I think Gina's been carrying this around with her. If you didn't know any better, I suppose it does look like a grease stain from all the fish and chips. An aggressive-ass stain. Whoa, what's this? Have you seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here? It's gone right through the leather and into the metal behind. Gosh, for a metal chest like this to have been so badly damaged. Whatever made the gash must have struck the side of the trunk with considerable force. I wonder how it happened. Is that everything? Okay, that didn't with the grouse necessarily, but that was interesting. Okay, Gregson, ACD0522, within 1 week from October 31st. Party Dunkirk, France, business, police business, permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Yeah, that was from Regina, I assume. Because they talked about it before. I am not sure where to go here. They're saying they're going to do something that she didn't know about, so I don't... Keep looking through. I am absolutely clueless what the hell I'm supposed to do here, and I don't like that I'm going to stop here, but I have to, because all we're going to do is just blindly throw things at her. I have no clue what the hell's the answer here. Too early for that. The passport? Where's the passport? What will that do? I've got no clue here. I am absolutely clueless. I'm going to have to just do it the hard way and just go through a bunch of items. So, that's it for now. Dang it. I don't like that I'm stopping here, but that's it. I have fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what's all about, having fun. Thanks for coming by and see you next time when we figure out what the answer is. I'm going to be mad once I find it.